Hello, everybody.
Hello. This is
Oh, I do love interrupting you when you're about to do the hello.
that woman in the top right going fucking nuts.
Has she just been to confession?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Or an LA hotel?
Well, we're back with what the fuck is that lady doing? They're all fucking doing it.
What have you done to this game?
I don't know. Yeah, we're back with this. Now, I did mention to Jordan off camera that I wanted to do some training off camera. I didn't get round to it, and the reason for that is Sergeant Angle and Magnemite or Magneto are almost ready to evolve, so we can probably do that this video. Um,
Ooh, Sergeant Angle. I
the,
forgot about that.
it's a great nickname. I did too. So what's the plan, Stan? Well, the plan, Stan, is let's go kill some birds, and we'll see if we can't raise some funds to get a master ball, and maybe we'll go to the power plant and get a new member regardless.
We're gonna go kill some birds. Just call me Jack the Ripper.
That's not appropriate.
Too late. I've
What
already
does
said it.
Tubbs here want?
Straight arm
He's
punch.
giving us rock smash.
Wow! Wow!
Right. Now I'm given to believe you have a that's not much use to us, Arthur. Your hardstone. What's the connections round you've got for me? You want to do that
Christ,
now?
I've got. You're just jumping straight in, aren't you?
Well,
You've got
you've
one.
got a lot of topics left. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. What do
So
you
all
think
that
I'll
time
do?
you were like, oh, you were just nattering on whilst we were doing my last recording, and you've actually got 2/3 of your topics left.
Yeah,
There you were, and I was ad libbing some of it,
get on
and
with it.
fucking hell. Right, you're a pain in the ass, you are
Oh
sometimes.
God, I.
But one time you actually come up with a sizable number of topics, and you don't use the fuckers.
You still have one video left. That's why we're
Yeah, but
saving it. Right, Shocky,
yeah.
you're up. We're gonna take on the gym, aren't we, Pally?
Do you want me to do this connections round or not?
Yes, please get on with it.
Right then, wear sunscreen. Enjoy the power and beauty of your youth. Don't worry about the future.
These are the number one bits of advice given by elderly people on their deathbed.
No, but you are surprisingly
These
close.
are the best bits of advice given by people on Reddit.
No. I'm more than happy to continue reading. There is quite a
Yeah,
few of them.
go on, throw some more at me.
Don't be reckless with other people's hearts. Don't put up with people who are reckless with yours. Don't waste your time on jealousy. And remember compliments you receive, forget the insults you receive.
Are these advice from elderly people to younger people?
I need you to be more specific.
Do you want the ages? That'd be fucking hell.
No, no. I mean, it is one old person to younger society in general.
Jimmy
So
Carter,
no. Would you like some more?
Nelson Mandela.
No.
Why am I using this? I can just surf it.
Would you
Yeah,
like some
please
more?
go on.
All right. Keep your old love letters. Throw away your old bank statements. Stretch. Don't feel guilty if you don't know what to do with your life.
So,
Get plenty of calcium. Be kind to your knees.
so this is a specific famous old person, right? Is it?
It is a famous circumstance whereby advice is being given, and
In
these are the pieces
fiction?
of advice. Yeah, well, I would call it fiction. Yes,
So it's in a film or book or TV show.
it is in media.
So a film, book or TV show or song. Is it a song?
It is a song.
There's no one quite like Grandad or something.
No, no, it's not. It's not from that Clive Dunn song called Grandad. Nor is it. Uh, there's no one quite like Grandma by the St. Winifred's Choir.
Grandma, we love you. Grandma, we do. Are you sexting?
No, not
Typing
like
is
last time.
very distracting.
So's your face. Would you like some more?
When the fuck am I going to learn Thunderbolt? Yeah, go on. It's not going to help me at all. You know that,
Don't
right?
don't congratulate yourself too much or berate yourself.
Uh-huh.
Dance. Read the directions, even if you don't follow them. Do not read beauty magazines.
I don't fucking know. This isn't how they were.
Enjoy your body. Use it every way you can.
I want a clue
Um,
because this is of zero fucking use to me at all. I've gotten enough that the connections are not useful.
it's from the late 90s. Get to know your parents. Be kind to your siblings. Understand that friends come and go.
So this is a song from the late 90s.
Yep, and the crux of it is a spoken word song from the late 90s, and these are the pieces of advice. The premise is that it's all a series of advice, and
Can I have a clue
yeah,
as to the artist?
Baz Luhrmann.
Is it Baz Luhrmann's pieces of advice from the 90s spoken word album he did?
That's not what it's called. No, you probably know. It's called Everybody's Free by Baz Luhrmann.
No, I've never heard that.
I'm going to give you the rest of the advice. Work hard to bridge the gaps in geography and lifestyle.
Yeah.
I don't fully understand that one myself, but you'll like these.
Don't be
Live in New York.
racist.
You've got live in New York City once. Leave before it makes you hard. Live in North California once. Leave before it makes you soft.
Right.
Travel. Accept certain inalienable truths. These truths being that prices will rise, politicians will philander, and you too will get old.
Mm.
There's a bit about shortly after that about how when you are old, you'll look back and you'll say that back then things were cheaper and politicians were honest and you used to respect your elders.
Mm.
With the next piece of advice being respect your elders. Don't expect anyone else to support you.
Mhm.
Don't mess too much with your hair, and
Right.
be careful whose advice you buy. Be patient with those who supply it.
Mm.
And the very last, I did take a no, I left the window open on my phone. Um, Advice is a form of nostalgia. Dispensing it is a way of fishing the past from a disposal. No, hang on. Dispensing it is a way of fishing the past from a disposal,
This is
wiping it
not
off,
good. This
painting
is
over
not
the ugly
good.
parts, and recycling it for more than it's worth.
It's not good. Oh. So Sergeant Angle was not shiny when we caught it, right?
Okay.
Now I put the shiny cheat on, and I guess it's just going to make all our Pokemon shiny. I can't be asked to get rid of it because I think it's kind of funny.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we're just going to have shiny, a team of electric shinies. Yeah. What's the best bit of advice you've ever been given?
Oh, I don't really know, to be honest with you. I've been given so much of it, and so much of it was unsolicited.
Well,
I'm so opposed to. Oh, I've still got the game running.
fuck's sake.
I'm so opposed to unsolicited advice, as a matter of principle.
Angle is down, angle is down.
Sergeant Angle.
Right, I think the best bit of advice. Well, I two. I suffered from. Well, I still suffer from it to a degree, but from depression, and I had. I attended like an online counseling, group counseling thing, and one of the things they said was that you should, if you're really depressed, you should try and do something. I'm picking up fucking everything on that, Mike. You should try to
Oh,
do.
calm down.
You should try to do something, no matter how small, like even if it's just emptying the dishwasher. Because then when you're lying in bed at night and you're thinking you're fucking useless, you have that as a little bit of a blockade. You can say, no, I didn't. You know what? It wasn't much, but I emptied the dishwasher. It was something. And that was a good bit of advice. And my mum said that if you ever fuck up in public, like embarrassingly so, just laugh. Which was a good bit of advice.
Yes,
And
but it's
always be
important that you don't-
prepared.
It's
Perfect.
important that your laugh isn't maniacal.
Hmm.
You don't wanna come
Perfect
across as
planning
some
and
evil person.
preparation prevents piss poor performance. That was another one. We've lost. I've had a crack at it.
You've not been you saying that you pick up everything on that mic is the most active you've been since we started talking about the Tories
What?
last video. When you got arsey because you could pick up everything on that mic when I was
What's wrong with it?
disposing of my notes that I had taken. That is the most active you've been since we started talking about Tories.
That's not fair. I talked about the Jimmy Savile thing a lot.
Well, I tuned a lot of that out.
Well, there you go.
If I'm honest,
You just
but
weren't listening.
I was multitasking. It's
Hmm.
very difficult, as I'm sure you can attest to
The
play a
fuck am I
game
gonna do
and
about
have a
that?
conversation if you're trying to. I'm playing a story game. It's harder than it should be.
Fair.
Speaking of story games, I played the first Baldur's Gate over the weekend.
What'd you make of it?
Well, it was a bit short. I was playing it, and I'd
No,
looked it
not
up, and it reckoned
flamethrower.
I'd looked it up, and it reckoned it was going to take like 20 hours to play,
Yeah.
and I completed it in less than 9.
Right. Bit disappointing then.
This was when I was playing as Mr. Twinkie, which
Oh
obviously I
yeah.
showed you bits
Not
of.
as funny as you thought it was. But, yeah.
Yeah, it tickled me,
Hmm.
especially when Theoden was talking about Mr. Twinkie. Just it's amusing, but no, I'm easily amused. I used that clip, the Theoden clip, in the review actually that I wrote.
Hmm.
I haven't scheduled because I'm not scheduling anything for next year apart from the one thing that is scheduled for next year.
Hmm.
No, I thought it was an alright game. I don't think the second one's as good so far. It does have me slightly concerned about the third one. But we'll have to see. I've not played as much of the second one. Because I went on to Death Stranding. Are you familiar with Death Stranding?
No, but I feel like I'm about to be.
Death Stranding is basically a hiking simulator in a sci-fi apocalypse where you play as Norman Reedus, who looks like Norman Reedus.
Oh yeah, that you showed me.
Yeah, and it is basically hiking. And I think there's a few stealth elements, which, as I'm sure you can understand, I'm not a fan of.
No.
Based on previous conversations that we've had just tonight, actually.
Hmm.
It's a fucking weird game. Like, the guy that you play, if
Yeah.
he dies, he can come back to life, right?
Right.
He's a special kind of person who can come back to life. But part of that process involves you sort of swimming over to your body, your lifeless body,
Yeah.
jumping down your throat, and there being a live baby down there.
Right. It's a bit
Like,
reincarnation-y, guess.
like the whole fucking thing is fucking weird. Like, I'm fine with weird games, but this is just what the fuck.
Hmm.
I don't normally get that from video games. There was also a PT reference after having woken up one time. He saw a figure in the shower. We went to investigate it, and it was a fucking PT jump scare.
Right.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
But it did make me realise that I think that the hiking game, or at least the basic mechanics of the game, where you can set up rope wires and ladders and build little bridges and stuff like that, is
Fuck you,
fantastic. I think it needs to happen on a larger scale without all the horror and sci-fi elements. I would
Right.
absolutely play a game where I had to hike across the country, any fucking country, but like a proper sized country, like literally the width of it. And if I have to cross a river, then I have to cross the river. And if I want to use a ladder to get up a ridge, or if I want to climb up and then use a rope to help myself climb down the other side, I've got to do that. I would fucking play that game.
Does sound fun.
It would absolutely be fun. Some of the best parts of Death Stranding are the traversal sections where you feel like you've accomplished something because you've managed to get from A to B and you've had to cross this ravine, so you've got a ladder and you've made a bridge out of this ladder, or you had to climb down a cliffside, so you've left a rope there, so you've got it on the return journey. and shit like that. It's fucking fantastic. It's also one of those weird online server-based sort of games where you don't actually see the people. They're all
Right.
there. If people are there, they're there, but you can see what like the ladders they've put down and the ropes they've put down and shit like that. So
Mm-hmm.
you can use each other's shortcuts, which is nice. I think that's a fun element. But the servers were down for a lot of today, or at least they didn't seem to be working, so I didn't play it
Right.
because I was working anyway, so I wouldn't have. But if I hadn't been working and I had wanted to play, it wouldn't have let me properly.
As long as you're having fun.
I don't know. I don't really know if I am.
Right.
Normally, I know.
It's probably a good indicator that you're not.
Well, no, because there are sections of it where I feel like I'm really enjoying it, and there are sections of it where I'm really hating it.
Right, let's grind on this guy.
I'm not sure you should grind on any of these people. It doesn't look old enough. But no, Death Stranding is a weird game, and I think that if someone were to make a peaceful version of it with a scaled up United States, I would absolutely play the fuck out of that game.
I agree. I'd like a game that's just basically empty and you just explore shit.
Like
climb
Breath
around.
of the Wild, but fucking. So the trouble is, it has to sort of look good if you're going to do that. Like Minecraft is basically that, but Minecraft gets tedious. The blocky nature of it all gets tedious.
Yeah.
Too small scale detail. If you're going to make a world like that, you want bigger detail. So I suspect you would probably have to, if you were doing the United States, you'd probably have to have so that each state was a game server and only so many people in it and all that kind of crap, so that you didn't have too many items trying to work at once. Procedural generation could work, but then there's no realistic aspect to it. Like the technology is out there to make relatively realistic. Like fucking Flight Sim has got topographical maps of the world, the whole fucking world.
To a large extent.
So
yeah, but it's not pitch perfect.
No, it doesn't have to be pitch perfect for that.
No.
It wouldn't be that if because they're doing the whole world. If you were scaling it down to a single country, you could probably make it a lot better. And it wouldn't have to be pitch perfect. It would just have to be realistic enough that it was convincing. You know, you wouldn't have to get every hill, but you'd have to get a rough sort of altitude.
Yes. Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Honestly, put the landmarks in the right place, and people won't know the difference.
No, probably not.
I would gladly hike 3,000 miles in a video game.
7 experience for the next level for Sergeant Angle.
I imagine a first-person Oregon Trail.
Yes, it would be fun. You're
You
right.
would play that.
Yes, it would be fun. Yeah.
Shall we do one of your topics, seeing as you've got 6 left?
Yeah. So there's rumours going around. Who directed that Oppenheimer?
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, there's a rumour going around that he's going to do the next couple of Bond films, and they're thinking of doing a 1960s period piece based on the Ian Fleming novels, or close to, in spirit to the Ian Fleming novels, and I'm fine with that. But I sort of would like them to take it a bit further, really, and just do for a while, just with one actor, do like period pieces from like all the Bond eras, really. Apart from the most recent ones, obviously. I'd like to see like a 1970s one in the vein of Roger Moore. I'd like to see a 1980s one in the vein of Dalton. I'd like to see a Brosnan type one in the 90s or the 2000s. I'd like that. I think that would be interesting. And I'm really impressed with the modern Bond franchise because even though a lot of it isn't necessarily my cup of tea, I think the whole Craig Bond being its own story and him dying at the end is
spoilers.
Is interesting and it's different, and a lot of people went, I don't get it.
But I'll tell you who doesn't like the end.
Who?
David Mitchell. I heard him on the radio the other day criticising the end, and Tom Allen, who was on the radio with him, saying that he's just ruled himself out of being the next Bond, and David Mitchell doing that. Yes, I needed an excuse to convince myself that I was actually in the running.
Well, I mean, I think he's dead wrong because it's a film and it doesn't matter. They can play about with it and do interesting things with it, you know.
But he backtracked on the possibility that they were saying that maybe he would make a good Q.
No,
So
I
he
don't think he
backtracked on his
would.
statements.
I
Well,
don't-
I don't think so either. He's too comedic in his delivery, isn't he? That's the problem.
Yeah, he's too well known for that. He's not really a proper actor, is he?
The thing about Q, as far as I remember, was it Desmond Llewellyn?
Yeah, for the most
Yeah,
part.
my remembrance of Desmond Llewellyn as Q was that he was for the most part the straight man in the situation, but
Yes,
he had the odd joke, the odd
yes.
light joke,
It's
and
interesting watching those films because it does seem like over the course of his time working with Bond, he sort of grows to like him. Like he goes to his wedding, in License
the
to Kill.
ill-fated wedding.
Yes, in License to Kill, where Bond is he is temporarily loses his license to kill because he goes on a roaring rampage of revenge. Q goes to visit him. He takes annual leave and goes to South America to visit him and brings him some gadgets and helps him out a bit, and that's really nice. And then
He helps him out on his murderous rampage.
yeah, it's against the drug
Good.
lord, so it's sort of fine. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, there's
Rocky Road, that slippery slope.
yeah, there's jokes about him, treating his gadgets poorly, and then the last few films, when he's building up to retirement, he's very friendly with Bond. So it does sort of feel like there's a relationship that's grown there, and I like that.
Am I right? Am I right in remembering that John Cleese played R at some point?
I think I don't know. That's difficult. There's a
Like
there's
a supportive.
so there's a joke that's made that he replaces Q, right? And in the film, in the last Desmond Llewellyn film, when Desmond Llewellyn introduces John Cleese to Brosnan's Bond, Brosnan says, "If you're Q, does that make him R?" And John Cleese's character replies, "Ah, yes, the legendary 007 wit." I think he is credited as R. I don't think it's
I mean,
ever.
you'd have to, wouldn't you?
I don't think it's ever canonically said. But Q stands for quartermaster. That's what it stands for.
I mean, it makes sense. That would be.
I do have a headcanon that the reason why every M, because there's been a few M's, the reason why every M is that all their surnames coincidentally just begin with M. There's
Yeah,
a
because
surname or first name.
Ralph Fiennes one did, didn't it?
Yes, and Julie Dench's, I think it was Barbara Maudsley, and the first one, his first name was Miles. So I think that's where it stands.
Mm.
And also,
The
I sort of have a headcanon that the reason why all the money pennies are called money pennies, they're not the same character, they're different characters. It's just because that original Lois Maxwell secretary was so beloved. Everybody who's taken her place is just called Money Penny as sort of an in-office joke slash tribute.
Okay.
That just becomes what the
Does
secretaries
everyone
refer
call
to.
them Money Penny? Or just Bond?
Bond does, the M does.
Okay.
It's not like it's like an office thing. Um, you know,
Fair enough. Um,
doesn't make sense to me.
the whole thing that he is credited as R,
Mm.
in the credits, because obviously that's the only name that we're given for him, even if it's not his accurate one.
Yeah,
Reminds me of the credits to Pulp Fiction, where you have the bloke who is credited as a coffee shop because he is cut off halfway through a sentence when he is saying that he's just a coffee shop owner or a coffee shop manager or
that's
whatever.
funny.
But because he doesn't get the last word out, he's credited as coffee shop.
That is funny. Yeah.
So yes, I thought that was worth mentioning.
Are we just going to alternate topics now and see if we can get through them?
Might as well.
Okay, your turn.
Um, you understand the basic concept behind Eldritch Madness, yeah?
Yeah. Actually, I was looking through our pinned messages earlier. I sent you one. The first one is one I sent you of a Tumblr post about Eldritch Madness. Yeah.
That is what inspired me thinking about this topic. Is because
Mm.
I happened to be going through our pinned things because I'd pinned that other one.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, I wonder what's there.
Yeah.
And that got me thinking. Do you think there's ever any Doctor Who companions that go through that situation? And if not, I think it would be something that would be worth exploring.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, obviously they deal with the whole it's bigger on the inside, and you get touches of shock at time travel and the scale of the universe and whatnot, and seeing
Like, but that
history.
post
But
demonstrated that, or suggested that it's not necessarily the experience of
yes,
it, it's more the removal of it, but still remembering it. That's the issue.
yes,
Going back to the normal life, as it were, is an
yes.
impossibility.
I mean, Sarah Jane sort of touched on that.
But Sarah Jane just sort of had her own similar adventures, didn't she?
Eventually,
Yeah, but I mean, they happened, and obviously Rose never got over it, and she's supposedly traveling around with Metacrisis Doctor,
yes, her own fake doctor. Actually
Ricky
reminds me,
in.
I was sorry to sort of temporarily
Yeah.
hijack your thing, but I was thinking recently how sort of uncomfortable that whole Pete Jackie Tyler thing is. Because they're
Yeah.
both their partners are dead, and just imagine how sad Pete would be. Jackie's Pete would be if he could see that he died and she married just a better version of him.
Mm. I well, just see the trouble is we don't necessarily know if no, we do know because they didn't have Rose at that point, did they? So it was before he died in the car accident that he made it big, because otherwise
They
their
would
lives
have
would have
had
been
the
the same up
kid,
to that
yeah.
point. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I did see something that suggested that actually that Father's Day episode fucks up Jackie's experience of Pete quite a bit, because beforehand, before Rose went and fucked it up, he'd been hit by a car, right?
Yeah.
Whereas afterwards,
He
he
throws
let
himself.
himself get hit by a car. He committed suicide effectively, and that changes everything. That changes your perception. Like, imagine for a moment that you think I've been hit by a car completely by accident, and
Yeah.
the emotion that you feel at that. I mean, you're pretty happy, right?
I am. I'm going to be honest with you. I am solid as a rock.
Yeah. But now imagine I did it deliberately.
Oh my god, I can't tell you the mess I've made.
No, because you've just jizzed yourself. Was that what you're going for?
That was what I was hinting at, yes.
Yes. Okay. So, so I mean, contextually, it does change the situation somewhat, doesn't it? Now, I'll never explore that because I'll never acknowledge that because they won't think about it.
Well, there's no
But
point at this point. It'd be weird if we went back to Rose again. I mean, there's not really much point.
okay, but you got to remember
I know, but
they will
that,
be
I
coming
mean,
back.
I mean, we've fucking done that to death, haven't we?
I know, and I wouldn't want to explore that
No.
any further. But it's one of those things that I think is a missed. Well, maybe not even a missed opportunity because it's difficult to touch on, isn't it? But
Mm.
it's something that perhaps ought to have been considered.
Yeah.
But,
I think I can't remember how that episode plays. Does she see it? Could it be interpreted that he was crossing the road and just sort of froze in fear or
I
something?
I don't I don't think
Because
so. I think
I mean,
he runs out there. I mean, she seems to have forgotten all about the aliens.
well, maybe that is reframed in her mind too. I don't know. Maybe it was just about resetting the timeline. Maybe everything just happened as it normally did with her.
Perhaps,
That he did just
maybe,
get hit by the car accidentally.
but she does then remember the girl that was there. That was Rose, because they talk about that later on, don't they? It doesn't happen in the first when start of the story. Start of the episode is her telling the story to Rose, and then later on we have the same thing, but she's telling her about the blonde girl that was there with him. So it's not resetting. It has changed.
Evolution.
I don't know. It's just I think it's sloppy, isn't it? It's a slightly sloppy
Eh.
story. Do you want to go on to one of your topics?
Well, this is something I've thought about recently. I have a feeling you and I have thought. Well, I've mentioned this to you before. Um, I read a Reddit post not too long ago that mentioned that before the Titanic sank, I think the day the Titanic sank, they had some trouble with their wireless, like it
Oh yeah.
broke, and
Well, Wi-Fi was very new technology back then.
and the White Star Line didn't own the wireless or the radio, whatever the fuck it's called. Um,
Yeah, I think it's the same thing.
it was owned by the Marconi company, and I think the policy was that if it breaks, fucking leave it. this is something we need to get the experts in to sort this. But the operators were fucking inundated with messages that people wanted sending back, and just thought, oh fuck it, let's just have a crack at it, and they managed to fix it. Now somebody mentioned what would have happened if they hadn't have been able to fix it. If the Titanic had struck the iceberg and they hadn't been able to get the SOS out, and that it had sank really without anybody knowing.
Well, one would have to assume that it would have disappeared. Everyone would have probably died because there'd have been no chance of realistic rescue. It would be a much larger tragedy.
That's not right.
And I should think they'd probably still not know where it is.
I don't think so. There were provisions in the lifeboat. I think the odds of people in the lifeboat surviving is low. I think we've got to play out, like, how would this go down? And I think the gist is that eventually, when it doesn't arrive, when they don't hear from it, they're going to get worried. But there's not really any way to check on it until it passes the point, like a few days later, when it just doesn't show up in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, they, then there's a sort of a look. They look into it, and it's like, when was the last communication? Well, we reckon they would have been in this massive chunk of ocean, and the ocean's fucking big, and things drift. So I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility that they would have found salvage, but it would have just. I don't think it would have disappeared necessarily. I think we would have known, basically. We would have been able to piece it together because there were ice warnings and stuff.
I think they would have understood that there had been a specific incident and the ship had sank. Yes. I don't necessarily think they would have found it.
I think we would have found it by now.
I think they'd have found the lifeboats for sure. I don't think they'd have found. I don't think they'd have necessarily found the ship by now.
I think they would.
Then again, there'd probably have been more of a concerted effort to find the ship.
Yes, I mean, imagine if we didn't find anything. It went off for some reason. It went off course, and or the radio was off for like a few days longer or something, and it went off course, and they had no idea where to even start looking, and they didn't find a thing. Like, can you imagine the theories? Like the Titanic.
Yeah, how long till someone says aliens, right?
I mean, almost immediately, one would imagine. Like the largest.
Well, maybe not back in 1912.
The largest moving object of its day on its maiden voyage fucking disappears after a handful of days at sea, and nobody knows where it is. I mean, I just think that's, it's almost worth.
But the movie would have been very different.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. No Titanic movie. What does that change? That changes a fair bit.
Yeah, DiCaprio and Winslet's careers would have been slightly.
It also means we get another major disaster, because the argument that we need more lifeboats on ships isn't as clear and obvious, because it was very clear and obvious when the Titanic sank, but it wouldn't necessarily be that clear and obvious if it just fucking disappeared. Which means that there would be another disaster where a shit ton of people died because there weren't enough lifeboats. So yeah, but it's interesting. That just got me thinking. It's a really tantalizing possibility that the Titanic. What if the Titanic just fucking disappeared?
Write a drama about it.
Nah.
Well,
right, you'll go. Tag, you're it.
Did you hear about Just Stop Oil and their most recent major protest?
Yeah.
Movement act. They went into Les Mis.
Les Miserables, yes.
Les Miserables.
Les Miserables.
Yes, and during Do You Hear the People Sing? It's probably the most famous song from Les Mis. And they mentioned how there was someone who had been interviewed, from what I gather from the article I read, that said that they'd chosen to do it for Les Mis because it was about the June Rebellion and how they were somehow likening themselves to the June Rebellion. And I seem to think they've completely forgotten that the June Rebellion fucking failed. But it's a key point of the plot is that people that one guy fucking died.
Well, they meant
that
well.
One guy was part of the elite.
Well,
If that happened these days, there would definitely be conspiracy theories about how he managed to survive when all of his friends that were opposed to the elite all mysteriously died at the hands of the police, and he somehow survived. You know,
I saw this reference. I saw this mention on Twitter that basically they made the point that people love revolutions and protest movements in the past, right?
yeah.
They sort of have the idea that, well, we've done all that, we don't need that anymore. And these are the people who, if they were living in it, would probably criticize the civil rights movement for being a bit noisy. And you and I in that Man Eater episode, we talked about Just Stop Oil. I keep wanting to say Just Eat, Just Stop Oil, and
Did
how
somebody say?
we
Sorry, carry on.
we we expected me to finish that.
No, I just
All
wanted
right.
to carry on.
About how we didn't think they were going the most effective way about it. I'm not so sure I believe that anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't
I think
know.
the issue that both of these Just Stop Oil and Extinction Rebellion or whoever else is sitting out in the streets at the moment is that they are pissing people off and not getting them on board. And the trouble is, you don't get people on board by pissing them off.
Well, you say
Okay,
that, but like
you don't get the masses on
the
board.
suffragettes were hardly popular.
Okay, but the thing about
Martin
the
Luther
suffragettes is
King was the most hated man in America.
the trouble is you the thing about Martin Luther King and the thing about the suffragette movement is that they have a built-in demographic which are inherently disposed towards supporting them. Maybe not
This is
en masse,
true.
maybe not 100%, but they have a specific demographic that they are specifically fighting for. Whereas Just Stop Oil is supposedly fighting for humanity, but actually all they're doing is they're pissing everyone off, and that changes things quite significantly. Like, why are they pissing people off? Oh, the suffragettes are pissing people off because they want women to have more rights, and then women hear that and think, oh, actually, you know what? Maybe we should piss people off. And Martin Luther King, he's fighting so black people can have their rights. He's pissing everyone off so black people can have rights. It's like, yeah, absolutely. All these black people are like, yeah, you know what? Fucking think about it. I want some fucking rights.
But it's the same basic. I see what you mean, but it's the same basic principle that applies to fucking all of us.
Yes.
We all have a vested interest in this.
No, but the trouble is that it's not a directly tangible vested interest, is it? That's the issue. It's this intangible thing of a better, healthier life, where we're not all going to die in however many years of climate change.
Well, yeah, I've said it before. I'll say it again. People don't understand the climate crisis. They imagine sad polar bears and less rainforests somewhere. Sergeant Angle evolved. Purple fish. And they don't really get it. And I don't think it's really been presented properly. And yeah, it's difficult because I agree with them. But at some point, you just got to start shooting oil executives, haven't you?
Then obviously things get a lot more problematic, don't they?
At some point, I mean, nobody wants to get violent.
Well, that's not true. People do want to get violent, Ben. I think inherently people want to get violent so they can go about their fucking day. You see these people stand on the streets. I guarantee you that people will just want to hit them.
They do hit them. These fucking cunts who just drag them out of the way.
They just want to run them over and get on.
They do. They have done, and it's just like.
But that is the issue. Is you're putting them.
You're making them hate you, and then they hate the cause because they hate you, and they're less inclined to engage with it.
What does targeting Les Mis have to do with?
It's a big event, right? Okay, it's raising awareness.
These are people who've paid to go and experience a thing that they may never get to experience again. It is not in itself causing a climate crisis.
Yeah, but it's.
I can understand if it was F1 or something like that. Yeah, I would get that. That would make sense to me because it is in itself it is damaging to the environment in its current form. They're working towards improving that, but they're not there yet. I would understand if that was the case, but it's not. It's a fucking theatre show, Ben.
Yeah, but it's not. You've missed the point entirely. It's not.
No, I haven't missed
You
the point.
have missed the point entirely. It's about raising awareness, right?
Yes, but you don't
That's
succeed at getting people on board by raising awareness and pissing people off. By all means, raise awareness, but you don't piss people off in the process.
I mean, every other protest, as I say, every other protest movement has done that. And you say there's no inbuilt support for them, but there is. I mean, it's not necessarily one demographic, but there is inbuilt support for them. I see
it's
where you're
less
coming.
tangible.
I see where
It's less tangible.
I see where you're coming from, and I get it. But I mean, I don't know. What the fuck do we do? Honestly, I mean, there's no fucking point. I don't understand. I think the only real option, it seems to me, is to start getting violent. You know, that's the only
But then
option
you
I can
lose.
see.
Then they've lost.
Well,
Then they become a terrorist group. Then.
oh fuck that, worth it.
No, no. The minute they're a terrorist group, they lose all their standing. They lose all their chance of ever successfully putting this off.
I still think that I don't really agree with that. It's too important to
It's too important for
sort
them
of
to fuck
play
it up.
by the system. Well, how would they be fucking it up? They would
Oh,
lose
what?
support. They would lose all. So fucking what if they lose all support? If they
Well, they
accomplish
get
that?
branded a terrorist organisation and they all get locked up.
Not if they do it properly.
Pardon?
Not if they do it properly.
Oh, okay. No, not if they do
No.
it properly. Well, if they do it properly, they don't need to go out to that extreme.
I mean,
I
what do
think they
you
need to be.
suggest? The propaganda is so fucking much against anything to do with. And I appreciate that you're going to say that's partially their fault. All right, fair enough. But it's such an uphill
They
struggle.
don't help.
There is
They
no.
don't help.
You're trying to persuade people, but they don't. People don't give two fucking shits. They do not care, right? The most important thing to the average man on the street is his own convenience. COVID, if anything, if COVID taught us anything, it taught us that, right? They couldn't even wear fucking face masks for more than a few months without whining about it. The precious
Oh,
little
sorry,
fuckers.
sorry.
What?
You just reminded me. There was a pandemic themed episode of Futurama that I watched, and they had all the people sat around the table like they normally do, and they were all wearing masks in different ways, and only one of them was wearing it right.
But you
And
see,
you just
you,
reminded me.
you see where I'm coming from, though,
No,
right?
I understand where you're coming from.
You
But
know,
the
we
problem is
can't.
that's never going to change. What it's going to take, is a genuine, bona fide, not a damn chance anyone can deny that it's anything other than climate change, climate catastrophe taking place. Fucking forest fires in the middle of London.
Well, that's what I. That'd be fucking difficult. There's no forest in the middle of London, but that's.
Well,
I think.
there's well wooded areas.
Well, there's the parks. Yeah, I grant you. But I think at this point, I don't think the fight is about stopping climate change. At this point, or stopping the climate crisis. We have lost that, right? That is going to happen. That is coming.
It's a lost cause.
At this point, the fight is what comes after that. And I think we have a chance on the left to actually make something of the world. Perhaps, maybe all those fucking idiots. I mean, hopefully most of them realise. I don't know whether that's too optimistic, but who bloody really knows? Hopefully most of them will realise that we were onto something. But it's going to be bad, and I think this country will weather the worst of it. But it's not like we won't be affected, because we absolutely will, because international trade is going to be fucked.
We're already being affected. We're talking about a fucking heat wave this weekend. It's October.
I just think I'm so fucking tired of the human race. I keep having my silly little fantasy of being on a spaceship billions and billions of miles away and never having
This is exactly the one thing we didn't want to happen.
Another human being ever again in my entire fucking life.
No, I you know what I think.
Yes, I do. I don't agree with it. It's very Lib Dem of you. But hey ho, I think. I mean, when it comes down to it, but we're both on the same page when it comes to climate change, which is something.
Yeah, I definitely contribute to worsening the situation.
Well, we all do. That's just human nature. But we're not the major culprits. It's the it's the oil companies. Yes, it's the oil companies. Nobody. the carbon footprint was invented by oil companies. BP came up with that. The oil companies knew about the effects of climate crisis since the 1970s, and and their first inkling was, we've got to fucking cover this up. So yeah, none of them will ever. I mean, if there was any justice in this world, they would be tried for crimes against humanity, and that is not hyperbole.
Rockefeller has a lot to answer for.
Mm.
Do you want to pick one of your topics?
When I'm on the bus, I want your opinion on this. I get on the bus in the morning, and I've been doing this long enough to know when people get off. And the two people who get off, the two people who get off at a stop not too far from me.
I didn't think you'd know what it's like when anyone gets off, Ben.
And I will always zone in on them and sit next to them, because I know they'll get up soon, and I'll be able to take both seats to myself. Thoughts on this little bus vulture strategy of mine?
It's a bit greedy, isn't it? Just feel like you're a bit of a cunt.
Does it?
Yeah, pick a seat, stick to it.
Well, I do. I pick a seat. I sit next to them.
Right,
there's not a lot of seats free, right? It's not like every other seat is free and I'm just sitting next to them. Most seats are taken. But there's lots of people sitting next to spare seats, and they tend to sit at the front. So it's not like I'm going out on my way to get to them. Where should we go next?
I don't know. I think
let's go for Blaine. You think what?
I think perhaps the fact that you're asking for an opinion of it suggests that you have an awareness that it's possibly a negative thing.
Yeah, I do.
And I would say that I would not do that.
I don't have a ticket. That man's drowning. Help him. May I have a ticket, please? I'm getting a ticket.
All right.
Thank you.
How much? You better not sink.
No, it's fine. Right, I've got my SS ticket.
Have you heard about the phantom time conspiracy?
Yeah. This is the theory that like 100 and something years or so was just made up because some Holy Roman Emperor wanted to be in charge at a certain point in history.
297 years.
I've got to do this fucking thing. This old man's lost his granddaughter and we've got to track her down. Goody.
Like, I'd never heard of this before. I just saw a random reference to it on the internet, and I thought I'd ask what your thoughts were on it. But apparently, according to that theory, we should be living in, well, it says 1726. I don't know when this post went up, but 297 years ago sounds about right. It's 300 minus 300 plus 3, wouldn't it? So 1726. That doesn't feel right, does it?
I mean,
like, just imagine if it was true, and it's like, yeah, but like, it's not. It's 2023.
Yeah, that's clearly not
even if it was proven to be true, I don't think they'd want to change it, just because it's so built into us. I suppose they couldn't change it because all the computers are now.
I mean, even so, it's an interesting theory, but you can't really just scoop out, even 10 years, because some important shit will happen there, and you've lost a chunk of the human story, haven't you? You have to explain how we got from A to Z, and you're missing like 18 letters.
I mean, it's important to remember that is part of the so-called Dark Ages, I believe. When supposedly there's not an awful lot compared to other periods of history.
Yeah.
Which I suppose lends itself to the theory.
I guess. I remember, I vaguely remember, I think part of it was it like Charlemagne? Like one of the arguments for the theory is that Charlemagne is too fucking good to be true.
Oh, you mean Christopher Lee's great ancestor?
Like a man like Charlemagne, who was as politically brilliant and spoke so many languages and was a great noble ruler who ruled for however long and brought Christianity and whatever, could never feels like a guy who was just made up. I swear that's part of it.
Like King Arthur.
I'm sure King Arthur was based on somebody. But yeah.
I mean, we're probably based on someone, doesn't? But I mean, let's be honest. In the grand scheme of things, King Arthur is a myth rather than a.
Well, yeah, that's the basic gist of it. Yeah.
No, I just one of them weird things. I was going to read up more on it, but I've been busy.
Yeah. Well, you've had a little conspiracy theory, and I guess my Titanic one serves that. But it's a bit of a personal one for me, this next one. So we talked about my health scare last week, didn't we?
Yes.
And I
we're not going to talk about your penis, are we?
No, I've made some changes to my lifestyle. I've begun eating more healthily. But more importantly...
After his hour-long Chinese earlier.
More importantly, I have given up smoking cigarettes.
You've actually stopped now, have you?
Yes, I stopped on Monday.
But you're not 14.
I start... What?
But you're not 14.
Is that a reference to the law thing?
Yeah, he said that under that rule, no one who is now 14 years old would ever be allowed to legally smoke or something like that.
Right. Well,
something along those lines.
Yeah, I started vaping instead, and I was surprised by how affordable they were. I bought 8 for less than 30 quid. 600.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
600. Yeah, I get that. 600 puffs in one vape pen.
Good God! Normally you have to pay a lot of money for that kind of experience.
And that's like, I mean, that's certainly more than a pack. But it was £4.84, I think, for one vape pen. It's like 12, 13 quid for a pack of cigarettes. So I'm going to save a fucking fortune. It does taste not nearly as sickly sweet as I thought it might. And I found that, I mean, I was never really that addicted. I enjoyed it, but I was never really that addicted. And I found it pretty easy to switch over, which is great. When I lived in Ireland, I went like months without even thinking about it. So it has been sort of fine. But as you say, it is dangerous because there's no natural obvious stopping point for a vape, is there? It's not like a cigarette where you run out of it. So I can quite honestly see how they're more dangerous for people when they start. But it's not as bad for you as smoking a cigarette. So I've switched. So yeah, go on.
There's also the environmental impact in terms of these disposable ones that keep getting, disposed of inappropriately.
Shoved down sea turtles' throats.
There were suggestions that one caused a bin lorry fire in South Kesteven.
Right. South where?
Kesteven? Where Stamford is.
Right. Gotcha.
I don't know how to fucking say it. I'm a Lincolnshire guy. None of this shit matters to me. But no, there is that. I smoked for a few months, about 11 years ago. In fact, 11 years ago, I would probably have been smoking
a cigarette
because I smoked. Yeah, I smoked socially as part of my Prince's Trust course. Most of the other people smoked
to fit in with the
with the ruffians. No, and it was just one of them social things. We got a break. It was nice to go and chat outside, and I do own a vape. I've had the odd cigarette since, but I like that Eurovision. That one Eurovision, we had a bit of a smoke, and I own a vape, but I don't really use it.
Lazy fucking colleague now who's sleeping somewhere. Yeah, I remember you saying you vaped.
Yeah, it's just I own it. I barely use it, but I've got it if I decide I want it. Can't remember what the flavour it is.
I got grape and banana. I'm on the grape at present.
No, I think mine's like a strawberry or a summer fruits or something similar. Nothing too.
Where are you, Sailor Man?
It might be cherry.
Must be in this one. He's not in this one. Where the fuck is he?
You've been in that one already.
Maybe I didn't. I know, but I'm going in again because he pops up. Maybe did I just not talk to him? I probably just didn't talk to him. No.
Is that not someone above you?
Yeah, he's the guy guarding the door. There he is. Stop being lazy.
Do you ever think about the openings of books?
I saw this too.
Oh, the thing from Owl at the Library.
Is it? Well, I thought. Is it the thing about J.K. Rowling's opening to Philosopher's Stone being voted the best book opening of all time?
No, that wasn't there.
Well, J.K. Rowling's opening to the Philosopher's Stone has been voted the best book opening of all time.
What, really? I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I would never have guessed that from what you'd said the sentence before.
Yes. The things like it was the best times, it was worst times.
So,
The universe was created many years ago and has been widely regarded as a terrible decision and made a lot of people very angry. That's one of them, or something like it.
in the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people
Yes.
very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move.
Mm.
By Douglas Adams. Yeah.
Yes.
There was I don't know which Narnia book, but apparently there was once a boy named Eustace Clarence Scrub,
And he very nearly
almost deserved it.
That's my favourite. That's my.
Ian Banks did one. It was the day my grandmother exploded.
Yeah, it's very.
And the person whose Twitter thread, because I dread to call it X. Oh, side note, every time BBC mention it, they always say X, formerly known as Twitter. Which is just, it tickles me.
Social media website formerly known as Profitable. Yeah.
This person's personal favourite was from Charles Williams in his novel War in Heaven. The telephone was ringing wildly, but without result, since there was no one in the room but the corpse.
Yeah.
That's their personal favourite. But the one about Eustace Clarence Scrub is
That's definitely my favourite. I mean, that's like
it's a good line.
Fucking top tier.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna talk to Ben about that.
So I've got one last topic.
No, I've got 3.
Okay. Well, I'll try and. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe we should just go to the power plant and get a new team member.
We've got to find that kid. Have you found the kid yet?
I'm gonna find the kid, and then we'll land wherever we land, and I'll find my way back to the power plant. How long have I been going on this?
I don't know.
58 minutes. Okay, so we can do that. And there's 3 things I can get. I won't get Zapdos. I'll end up getting something else.
Ooh. Do you not need it for fly?
Well, I can teach Pikachu fly, but I will need it. I will be using it for fly at some point, but it's not too bad. It can wait a little while.
Okay. So, what do we want to do about topics?
You want to do your 2, and then I'll do
3,
one, and then you
okay.
do one.
Oxfordshire. Did you hear about the big one Fireball?
Somebody at work mentioned it. It was not a refinery plant, but a gas plant, something like that.
Biofuel or something.
That's
like
the one. Yeah, there was a big.
And it got hit by lightning.
I mean, that stuff's fucking flammable, isn't it?
I saw, like, the first thing I heard about it was, hey, check out, watch this video on BBC. They sent out a news alert saying, watch this video of the Oxfordshire sky turned orange by lightning strike at biofuel centre or whatever it was. Quite a long headline. And I thought, what the fuck is going on? I've got to look at that. And honestly, it looked quite spectacular. But obviously, I doubt anyone caught footage of the actual explosion itself, just for aftermath. Because, okay, fine, you get footage of things like 9/11, but that's because New York's got fucking cameras all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Oxfordshire's mostly empty space.
Yeah.
And it was late at night as well, or evening at least. So, but no, it would have been nice to see the lightning strike it. I think I would have enjoyed seeing that. Not because I'm opposed to biofuel, obviously, but just because it would look kind of cool. I think lightning is. I think lightning looks cool anyway. To be honest with you, love lightning. I wish we had more storms in this country.
You say that now.
I wish we had more storms that led to very little result in this country. I like the sound. I just love the sound of it. Have the window open. It's the closest I get to white noise. Is my
yeah.
promise,
Don't get hooked on that. I can't sleep without it.
No, every so often, if I'm having trouble getting to sleep, I'll get the Alexa to play it, or failing that, I'll get out
Anything else in this room?
the dance mat and I'll do a rain dance and hope that I can get some thunder going as well.
Then you'll wear yourself out.
And then I'll fall asleep before it turns up. Yeah, absolutely. No, I get so pissed off when because I have an Alexa and because I've got the Alexa out, I get these the Met Office. That's it. I can't say the fucking word.
Meteorological.
Getting late. It's getting late, isn't it? And I've had a few drinks, so.
Right.
The Met Office have issued a weather warning for thunderstorms between this time and this time, and 9 times out of 10, there's no fucking thunderstorm. And I'm like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you getting my hopes up? Just because it's in terms of weather, it's probably the one I enjoy the most because of the sound.
Give me the little girl. I'm here with the kid. Come on.
The thing about thunderstorms is that you can justify not going anywhere, no matter what. No matter what it is, you can justify not going.
Yeah.
There's a thunderstorm.
Right, we did it.
Metal coat. You don't want to wear that in a thunderstorm.
Well, it's not particularly useful for me. It involves Steelix and Scizor. Or Scyther into Scizor and Onyx into Steelix, neither of which, you will note, are electric types.
Does Scizor have a sister?
No.
Oh. So they're not
Oh, I see. I thought you were making a sex joke. I'm here, I'm ready. We're in the wrong continent or country, but hey ho. There's another drowning person. What the fuck is going on?
I've had a lot of Scissor Sisters music stuck in my head today because I heard some on the radio. And yeah. Remember that scene in Doctor Who where the master's singing I Can't Decide?
Yeah.
To the Doctor. Like, what a fucking... I've heard suggestion that Neil Patrick Harris is going to have a song and dance number in one of his upcoming episodes.
Don't really like Neil Patrick Harris ever since I found out about the Amy Winehouse cake.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give him much thought, to be honest with you, most of the time, but that's an understandable reaction to have to him, I feel. You said you had one, didn't you? So I'll do one more.
Yeah.
I picked up some new vinyl records the other day.
Really?
Yeah, vinyl is having a resurgence, and I do have a small collection of records, maybe 30, 40 of them.
Where the fuck am I now?
Well, you're no longer on a boat, I'll tell you that much. So I am now
I'm in Cirewood. That is not where I wanted to end up.
I'm now the mostly proud owner of 5 of the 6 studio albums from Dire Straits.
Right.
I'm also the owner of the Bat Out of Hell album.
I don't want to be here. Do you listen to them?
Sometimes. I've not listened to them since I bought them, but I've been busy.
Purely aesthetic.
I'm not sure what to do about the Bat Out of Hell one because it's still sealed. Like I went to a shop where people they buy and sell them, and the Bat Out of Hell one is still sealed, so I'm a bit reluctant to open it, to be honest with you. But the others, yeah, almost all the others that I've got, I've listened to. But the 4th one I bought. It was by an artist called Mike Oldfield who did
Tubular Bells.
Tubular Bells. It's literally that I bought, and it's like the only piece of music of his that I'm aware of, and I keep meaning to put it on and have a little listen, but I just, like I say, keep forgetting. It's mostly because I don't have an awful lot of plug sockets in here. Makes it quite difficult for me to have it and all the stuff that I normally leave plugged in.
So the fast ship only sells once a week.
What day is it today?
Thursday. It sells on Friday, I think. Apart from the first time when you can do it whenever. How the fuck do I... I've got to go the fucking long way, haven't I?
Oh, if only you had Fly.
Well, hey-ho.
Yeah. Do you own any vinyls or any other archaic...
No.
Outdated, obsolete pieces of technology like that?
I own books. I still use my 3DS.
Books are different, and the 3DS is...
I think I'll play out of that.
Appropriate.
I don't want to go the long way. I want to go the short way. Can I get Fly? She used to get that. There was a woman on the island I was on. She gives fly in crystal. I know you can get it in the place where you get it in the original games. So I wonder whether they've done the thing where you can potentially get it. Oh shit! Fuck! I think he offered me to take me to Cerulean, and I just pressed. That would have been easier, but we'll check and see if we can get our flying Pikachu. Back we go again.
Christ, it's almost as you've done that almost as often as I've done sneaking around on that lampshade.
Right, where's Chuck's wife? There she is.
You're having quite a few graphical glitches.
I know. Yes, it would. Oh, I have 3 gym badges. Thank you. Are we ready for the amazing flying Pikachu?
Yeah, go on and you throw it at someone. But like, think fast.
Come on, sweetheart, come on. Right.
There's a lot of new albums coming out in vinyl format as well.
Making a
Both recent and
comeback.
coming up, which is it's ridiculous, but it's happening. But it is happening.
Goodbye,
When we were
Growl.
in the shop, I saw the Barbie soundtrack, for example, had been put onto vinyl. I know Taylor Swift has got an upcoming album coming out on vinyl. The Rolling Stones, well, that's probably less of a surprise.
I don't think I've got Petal Dance on this thing, and I'd quite like to get Petal Dance on it. Just to give me that extra bit of coverage.
I don't necessarily think that you flew. I think you summoned a tornado, haven't you?
No, that's just the effect of Pikachu wagging its tail so high it flies, or maybe it just
What, like Tails from the Sonic series?
yeah, or maybe it like has a pilot's license and a little tiny jet.
Like Tails from the Sonic series. All I'm learning is that it's Tails. That's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? That Tails can fly a plane.
Maybe.
What are your topic?
Yeah. So I was in town last Friday and I bought a book from a charity shop for £1. This book is it was released in 1999. It's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire quiz book to tie in with the heyday of the show.
Naturally.
And it's got it's got the questions for every sort of value amount and stuff, and I've looked through them, and the millionaire, and it's written by the people who set the questions, and I spent ages looking for
just
appropriate.
Is it grouped by prize? Sorry, by like value questions.
Yeah,
or is it
yeah. You've got your £100
like
questions, your £200 questions, and it moves up and up and up.
Okay.
Now I spent ages looking for fucking Who Wants to Be a Millionaire quizzes online that are actually any good, and most of them are shit. But this one's really good. But one of the things that stood out to me is that it expects you to play it like it's a proper game, right? Yeah. That's how it frames itself. So you've got your lifelines, and it sort of struggles with your lifelines just a little bit.
Yeah. Ask all the audience, it's always going to be difficult if you're playing at home.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? 50-50 they put in the book. Like, you flick to the back page and it will give you, if you use 50-50, these are the options that are available to you. Phone a friend. Well, you phone a friend. Ask the audience. You're encouraged to either have sort of friends and family around you if you're playing from home and ask them, or, and I'm not making this up, if you're on public transport or just out and about, it recommends you ask the people around you. So you're going up to strangers and saying, just saying out loud, who was the first president of France? Anybody?
Well,
madam, no, please don't walk away, madam. I need your help. It's for £1 million, ma'am. No.
For $1. Sorry, it's that bloke, isn't it? Billy on the street or whatever it is. monsters for $1.
Dance the pedal
Any
dance.
woman.
So
Did
yeah.
you cheat to get that?
What? No.
Did you cheat? Oh, okay. I saw you do a thing, but I wasn't fully grasping what you were doing.
In the radio tower, there's 2 radio towers, right? One is in Goldenrod, one is in Lavender Town. The Lavender Town teaches egg moves. That's moves you would have to breed other Pokemon to get. So you breed Pikachu with, I don't know, something that's compatible with it that isn't a Pikachu. And you can get a move that other Pokemon can learn on your Pikachu. The other one is event moves. So if you went to a real life event, you could have gotten a Pikachu that knew Fly or Petal Dance.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just that.
Fair enough.
Now I do know what I'm hoping for my next Pokemon. It's I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. I think I might have to teach it an electric type move. But I'm not wildly keen on it because we want coverage from this. So we're gonna fight our way to the power plant, and I'm gonna see what we can scare up and try and get a decent one. If I don't get a decent one, I'm just gonna take what we can get, and then I'll try and catch one off camera because I will be doing some training, I think, over the weekend.
What is it you're trying to catch?
I would quite like to use an Electabuzz.
Okay.
I was torn between that and Ampharos. I suspect.
Both.
Well, no, because I have another. I only really need something that can learn the elemental punches. You see. And they both can, but I feel like Electabuzz might be able to learn Earthquake as well.
Okay.
This thing's pissing me off.
I can't believe you got double teamed by Pikachu.
You getting sleepy?
Yeah, but I've not been sleeping great, so.
Well, that's alright. We are almost done.
Yeah.
Got a bit of money. We can skip some of these trainers. I'll probably do them off camera. Well, I say off camera, I'm going to record it and I'll put some Kevin McLeod, not Kevin McLeod, Kevin McAllister, Home Alone, whatever his fucking name is.
I think it was McLeod.
Isn't Kevin McLeod the Grand Designs guy?
I don't know.
I'll put that guy who does that free music. I'll put that over it. I'll speed it up and I'll just stick it at the beginning, or maybe I'll just stick generic bass music. I don't fucking know, but I'll do something and we'll open the episode with it. Episode, video, whatever. See if I can't get everything to 35.
Shouldn't think you'll take too long to do that.
No. So, what is your last topic?
My last topic is to do with the Home Office, actually, releasing its most politically, or one of its most politically sensitive data sets.
Right.
Would you happen to hazard a guess as to what this data set
What
is
the fuck
about?
is going on with Nurse Joy? She's on the wrong side. Please don't die. Please don't
statistics.
I don't know.
Stop and search figures.
Oh, right. What are they like?
Well, I didn't. I've not looked at it myself because it'll be spreadsheets, but it'll be spreadsheets that I'm not that interested in. So I find it hard to engage.
No, I just want to. Sorry, I just want to quickly highlight this. I'm pretty sure all these extra little characters they add about, which include the Elite Four and the Champion, are based on people who were involved in some degree in the development of this mod or this ROM pack, this fan-made expansion. So yeah, we can fight them and they'll give us items and stuff and tell us things. So yeah, that's fun. This guy made a ROM hack and put all his friends in it, which is cool.
It's understandable.
Please continue.
This particular set of data, the stop and search figures, this is about the number, including about the number of people being arrested after being stopped and searched. It had a note on it. This note being reason for arrest data is dodgy, so maybe we shouldn't publish it. Which doesn't sound good, does it?
No.
Like, so just this is like if you obviously you use spreadsheets, I'm sure at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever added a note to a spreadsheet?
Possibly. I just want to mention very, very quickly the music that is playing right now is a GBA version of Macho Man.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't be able to hear it. Hopefully, the audience will.
Yeah, I can't. So. Yeah, so like this is like someone has left a note. Just put a note on a cell in a spreadsheet, and that note is reason for reverse data is dodgy, so maybe we shouldn't publish it. And that is, I mean, it reads as a lot more suspicious than it actually is. It's been
Yeah.
explained since as being that it's not consistent detail. So sometimes they'll put something. The police forces that are responsible for creating that data won't necessarily record it properly because there's no standardized way of reporting it at this stage,
Mm.
and that's why it looks dodgy. That's why it's dodgy. But the fact that the note says
Mm.
doesn't data is dodgy, so maybe we shouldn't report it.
Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah,
Just, you know,
yeah.
it's
It
struck with me.
reminds me a bit of the civil service person who on 9/11 said this would be a good day. This is a good day to bury bad news.
Mm.
I mean, she wasn't wrong, was she?
No, absolutely not.
Right, what's the power plant stuff? What you got for me? I can get Jolteon. I don't want to use Jolteon. Sorry, Jolteon. There's my Zapdos. Okay, so I might need more badges, but I reckon the only place we can actually find Electrode or Electabuzz is in the grass.
Okay.
So let's see what we can do, shall we? What, how are my balls looking? Pretty great. Right.
It's all about you and your balls, isn't it? It's like calling you Ed.
Hey, that was fucking easy.
That was. Now you got to catch it.
Right, let's hope you're not shit. Oh, God, I hope this thing can learn Earthquake.
If it can't, what does that do for you?
Well, it sort of... There is an electric type gym, obviously, with Lieutenant Surge, so we'd have to
Yeah.
find a way around that. Ideally, I'd like to teach it a fighting type move instead of a thunder type move. Electric type move. So hopefully that will pan out. No, it's not the end of the world. I'm just going to have to brute force my way through a few things, but we'll see what we get.
Brute force.
Fuck you.
A bastard.
You are paralyzed and in red health. This should be the easiest fucking thing in the world.
It's not that paralysed. It did manage to leer at you. There you go.
Hey, please don't be shit.
Yeah, at least it'll be shiny.
It will be shiny. It's only 3 foot tall. When two Electabuzz touch, they control the electric communicate their feelings. Yes. Oh, Nelly, for that's fine.
Oh, I don't know.
So
it's Electabuzz.
it's HP, attack, defense, speed, special. So it's low in speed, but it's good in everything else. Right.
Woody.
Woody.
Yeah.
Why?
Because Woody and Buzz.
When he called it Buzz. All right.
Because
no, fair enough.
Buzz is too fucking obvious.
Yeah, Woody it is. It's not bad. It's slow as fuck, potentially. But
Is it shiny?
it will be. It will be. When I open it up next time, we'll have a shiny one. But yeah. Let's see if we can kit this out before we finish. Let's just see what the deal is. I'll just visit these radio towers and see what we can get on it. This used to be the Pokemon tower where they buried all the dead Pokemon. Now they turned it into a radio station.
Yeah,
It's a bit
that doesn't sound like
controversial.
a good thing.
It's mentioned to be. Oh no, it's not Egg Move. It's old TMs.
All of them.
Yeah, from Gen 1.
Oh, okay. Are they in any
Hey,
particular order?
submission. Right, that's what I want.
So you're telling me that Woody is submissive?
You seen that thing, that post where I think it was on Tumblr or something, where the person was saying that in their biology class, the tutor asked
Yeah.
what the opposite of dominant was. Instead of saying recessive, they said submissive very confidently.
I mean, they're not wrong. It's just a wrong question.
So my hope is, actually, I reckon I've got the earthquake TM. I do have the earthquake TM. Please, 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 please. Fuck. Okay, not a massive deal. I don't know. If that can't learn it, fuck all else can. So I guess we're brute forcing our way through Surge. But we've got.
Yeah, good luck.
We'll have decent coverage elsewhere, mercifully. So we should be all right.
Well, it'll be hard for you. At least it'll be hard for him as well.
Yeah. But, maybe I'll save Surge till last and have a true battle of the electric champions or something.
That's will be shocking.
I could teach a pursuit instead. In fact, I will just to give it coverage against psychic types. Because I'll need something for that. Maybe I'll give it Shadow Ball once we get it. Anything else you can give me?
Well, it looks like he's gonna fast shit, to be honest with you.
Probably. Let's pursue it again. Doesn't seem like it. No, okay, that's us. Right. Well, as usual, we've been going for a fair amount of time here, so why don't we... Woody's just going to say he's dying, because he's got very little health. Woody's having a hard time keeping pace. Right, let's go heal, and then we'll see what Woody has to say for himself.
Woody's having a hard time.
Yeah.
Oof. I'm sure there's a joke in that. Probably a few of them.
Right, what make you, Woody?
Have a little dance.
Woody seems to want to go back outside. Alright, well, let's go outside.
Take him outside.
Now what? Woody seems interested in the tall buildings. Well, we just came out of there, you silly git. I don't know. Well, it's goodbye from me and my new friend. And my old friend. And I'm going to do some training, get everything up to level 35. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
Who's the old friend?
You.
What?
You're an old friend.
Since when?
Since recently.
Ah, that explains everything.
Bye.
Bastard.
Bye.